A reading from St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 26. One of the 12, who was called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, "What will you give me if I betray him to you?" They paid him 30 pieces of silver. And from that moment, he began to look for an opportunity to betray him. On the first day of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus saying, "Where do you want us to make the preparations for you to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain man and say to him, 'The teacher says, my time is near. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples.'" So the disciples did as Jesus had directed them, and they prepared the Passover meal. When it was evening, Jesus took his place with the 12, and while they were eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." And they became greatly distressed and began to say to him one after another, "Surely not I, Lord." He answered, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man goes as it is written of him, but woe to that one by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that one not to have been born." Judas, who betrayed him, said, "Surely not I, Rabbi." Jesus replied, "You have said so." We do not know exactly why Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus. St. John's Gospel, chapter 12, implies greed was his motive. Then we should see at what price Judas sold our Lord. In today's Gospel, St. Matthew tells us it was 30 pieces of silver. What was the worth of 30 pieces of silver? Some estimate it is only $300 in today's dollar, based on the value of silver. But the Bible tells us it was an average price of a slave in the ancient times of Israel. We do not know the monetary value of a slave in our times, since nowhere in the world slavery is legal. But when we consider the average prices of slaves in mid-19th century in America, it would be about $25,000 to $30,000 in today's dollar value. So Judas traded Jesus at the value of a compact car in our times. Do you think it is a lot of money? Judas Iscariot saw all the wonders of Jesus during his public ministry, and Judas himself was sent out to heal people and cast out demons with the power of Jesus gave to him. All Israel was watching Jesus. Jesus could be potentially a king of the Jews. Then, how could Jesus estimate the value of Jesus for an average slave? Was he really greedy? When people live for their own greed, people become blinded of spiritual values. In fact, they lose sight of all values. They become unreasonable. They choose worthless things. People choose the economy over life. People choose personal freedom over the lives of babies. Judas Iscariot chose $30,000 over the life-saving God. My brothers and sisters, do you have worries these days? What are they about? Are they about the salvation of your soul? On the way of the cross, Jesus told the women of Jerusalem, "Do not weep for me. Rather, weep for yourselves and for your children." He wanted us to put salvation first and foremost.